I didn't want to have to do a video on this again, guys. I didn't ever want to do another video on FF15, A New Empire. I wanted to send it to the abyss of my memory, the mere existence of this title, but I feel like I have to come back and talk about it for a really serious issue that I think needs addressing, and I think fans need to know about it, but most importantly I think Square Enix need to know about it, and that they need to give some sort of statement. And that's in regards to, and this is a very delicate subject, so I'm gonna have to do loads of disclaimers this video, that 15 A New Empire, there is a consensus, there is a dialogue going around the internet that this is an illegal ponzi scheme game. Now I kind of called it a pyramid scheme, ponzi scheme. I mean, take whatever title you want, but that it's not a kosher title. Now this is important because this is a pretty new kind of low. I mean, I know we've had bad mobile titles in Final Fantasy. We've had All the Bravest. I'm not going to name any others just in case I offend anyone. But no, we've also had really good ones. Mobius and Brave Exvius. Good quality titles with good storylines. With Brave Exvius, you can be just as good as even the pro players. And that's what people who've played it have told me. And so there are good ones. But to my memory, none of them have been illegal. None of them have been a straight up scam. So this is a new kind of low if it's true, and this is my disclaimer. If Square Enix are listening, I am not the one saying this, I am not the one making this up. I do not in any way want to be seen as the face of making allegations against Square Enix or mobile title. I am simply reporting on something that I, as a paying customer, saw when I played this title. So I went in, played F15 New Empire, and the comment section was full of these rumours that it is an illegal game. So right there, as a paying customer and as a Final Fantasy fan, I have every right to discuss this. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. Now, I'm not going to get into the roots of explaining the game again. Hopefully you've all seen my previous video to know what kind of structure this game has. You have to pay money to have one of the biggest empires. That's just a fact. So I discussed last time. And before I even knew of these rumours about it being illegal, I said pyramid scheme because you could simply tell from playing this game that the empires that were strongest would conquer and dominate and crush the smaller empires. So if somebody only spent a 10 on their empire, well, someone who spent 30 quid is going to destroy you. Fact. Guaranteed. And they're going to take your resource, aka kind of taking the money you invested. People who spend money defeat the empires that don't spend money, but then the empires who spent even more than the ones who spent just a bit take their money and resource, and it just kind of escalates like that. The resources, the money, the value, it's all being filtered to the top, and that is the definition of a pyramid scheme. Maybe the correct term is ponzi scheme. So I even identified it before I saw the rumours. Now I'm going to read out a post that came from onto my channel, and this is basically the greatest explanation of what this scam supposedly is, how bad this could be, and what really distinguishes it from other titles. Game of War, Clash of Clans, is it? Games that people have said, oh no, this isn't the first game to do this. There are plenty of town builders who do this, Pez. This is no different. I don't think that excuses it, because I think mobile developers are some of the shadiest motherfuckers out there. In fact, before I even read this quote, if I even just go to the Office of Fair Trading. Free-to-play games could be illegal, warns Office of Fair Trading. Now, I won't read the entire article, but it more or less outlines everything that this game falls into the category of. The shady-ass mobile developers, and again, I don't even know who the developers are for this. It's not Square Enix. Where it's come from, why Square Enix have picked it up, I don't know. But companies that offer these free-to-play mobile titles on the impression that they're free to play, and that you don't have to buy money to succeed at this game, but then turns out that's a complete fallacy, that's a complete lie. You do have to spend money, and the Office of Fair Trading, while they are trying to deal with these kind of companies, they have all the loopholes in place, but they're trying to make a clause called direct exhortations. Now, exhortations, I mean, I had to even look it up, and it's an address or communication emphatically urging someone to do something. And let me assure you guys, in FF15 A New Empire, they are emphatically pointing to the store, like constantly. I mean, every 10, 15, 20 minutes, they will force you to go to the store and buy some cheap, very tacky means. And even if they don't directly send you there, it's just flashing on your screen all the damn time. Launch day sale, special sale, bonus sale. Fuck it, I mean, you get what I mean. It's a direct exhortation. But I'm kind of rambling. Let me get to the quote that I really feel. This particular quote was left by a Phantasm X on my YouTube channel, and I'm reading his out because he basically perfectly summarized what other people were saying, like in drips and drabs in the chat, because there's like a chat system in the game, and that's why I'm addressing this as someone who played it, saw these comments. Again, not the one coming up with this. But sentence is, yes, this game is an intentionally recognized illegal ponzi scheme in digital millennium form. I don't know if digital millennium is then the they might be the developer, so I don't know what that means, but probably. Read and compare, and it is clear as day. You play and invest time with money as an additional investment level. This money investment comes with promises of high yield returns, of profit and power for your account. A hallmark of Ponzi scheme baiting. It's true. You could argue they're taken a bit further, but when you read the rest of it, it really backs that up. You get returns on investment via the resources of bases of those who invested less. The frightening part is if you make it to the top of your server and things slow down, the game dev merges your server with others. All of a sudden, the big fish of a pond are the small fish in an ocean. Now, before I continue reading, this was what really tipped it over the edge for me, because the only thing that prevented, I kind of didn't address it in my last video, was your empire getting destroyed, was that you could form guilds, and you could have a guild, and you could like move your squares, and you could kind of like build next to each other. And there's a part of the mechanic of the game where you can sort of send army and resources to assist other people. So kind of like, even if a bunch of like free to play people like who have spent no money, like if they got together and they made like a really strong guild, they would kind of be able to survive the really high crazy buying people, the people who drop $100, $1,000. There was someone who dropped $3,500 on this title. $3,500. Fuck. But you could survive them if you had this whole guild structure. But that's not true. You can't. You can't even do that. And it's because of this. They literally have, and he's telling the truth because I checked it out, and they haven't just done it once, they've done it twice. And this is what people lose their minds about. They merged the servers. So you would have your guild, and there were people with big guilds that they worked hard, and they were friends, and they went to the same place, and they spent hours trying to build their only semblance of defense against the high spenders, just to have their server merged with another. In most cases, same guild members being sent to different servers, being teleported to completely opposite ends of the map. And absolutely the worst part, and why that quote of this being a Ponzi scheme, Square Enix, I don't know how you're going to defend yourself, is, as he says, being sent to a server where you're now the small fish again. So you worked hard. Perhaps you only invested a tenner, and you were surviving your server, and then they throw you into a server where literally the only thing you've got is to lose your empire at this point, or to spend even more money. And that's the beauty of it. And when I say beauty, I actually mean the fucking diabolical disgrace of doing something like that. Before I get too mad, let me just read the rest of it. I pre-registered and played since launch day continuously until today. So for Phantasm, that's probably about a week nearly. Today my server was merged with another 4 days after launch. The top 20 likely invested no more than $25 each, as I was among them for that amount. Then my server players list was split up and merged into another with absolutely no warning other than a system mail seconds before the event. So again, 2 merges. That's not speculation, it's happened. I've seen it. I immediately went from rank 20 to 220. The new top 20 had about 20 times the base power as me, thus can rationalise they spent 10 times the cash. I mean, that's just a fact. This guy played round the clock, and I mean, this is a game where the only way you can get bigger is to spend money. There's physically not enough time in the day to be that big and powerful. As he says, without spending $200 to $250, they will now profit their bases by raiding those who spent less. So him. He spent $25, top of his server, gets thrown into a server where he's now the smaller end. He either has to spend $225 to be in the top 20, or he's going to get raided. And once they do raid him, they essentially absorb his his money, his investment, everything he invested then gets absorbed into those. And then they'll be, say, a $300 empire. They'll merge the servers again and again and again and keep this constant structure of, you know, the person with a $300 empire could then be dropped into a tier, and the people with the top 20 who he has to either catch up to or lose to have $3,000 empires, and that's insane. And that person doesn't even necessarily had to have spent $3,000, but it's just through the accumulation of raiding other servers, these server merges, the wealth slowly creeping its way towards the top. It's fucking insane, guys. This is insane. I kind of feel like there's no point me even trying to do this disclaimer. I'm just going to straight say, anyone with half a brain can see this is what's happening with this game, and that it's true, and that now, in the Final Fantasy fucking franchise, we have a mobile title that is borderline fucking illegal. I'm not even borderline. This is a straight up fucking ponzi scheme that we have for 15. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. And if I'm wrong, Square Enix, if we're somehow wrong, I don't see how we could be at this point. And I will finish Phantasm's quote. You have to tell us, Square Enix. At this point, it was so prevalent on the chat in the game that you have to address this. Too many of your fans now have a concern. And that's the thing. Like you could just say, I don't give a shit about FF15 A New Empire. I don't give a flying toss. I never want to see it again. I don't give a damn. But I think all of us as Final Fantasy fans, or Square Enix fans, or JRPG fans, or even just those who believe in the integrity of video games, and that includes mobile, I think everyone needs to be fucking outraged by this, and everyone needs to know about it. Potentially what's happening. Again, potentially. But let me finish this off. More mergers surely continue in parallel. Big accounts paid with the resources of smaller accounts. As soon as cash flow slows down on the server, it will be merged again, over and over again. To reiterate, this is absolutely an illegal ponzi scheme. These developers need to be banned from the app stores and the admins held legally accountable in a physical court of law. Wow. And that's exactly what it was. When he's talking about server slowdown, he's talking about that, when you are now in the top 20 or top 100, or you've made your guilds and you're safe, and you've got the safety net of your guildies, your empire isn't literally on the line of being crushed any second now. That is when people start investing less, because why do they need to invest tons and tons of money? They're safe, they've got their guild structure, or they're the biggest on the server now, so they don't have to spend more. And that's the reason they've done the merger server. Guaranteed. Fact. There's no question about that. That's why they're doing it. They never gave anyone warning. They never said this would happen. I mean, it completely undermines the guild structure. And the only reason why they would do this is to throw everybody back out into the fucking jungle, all the people who were safe, to put everyone's empire back in danger and reboost, reinvigorate the need to spend money to survive. Oh my god. I mean, I have no fucking words for it. I have no words for that. How scummy and low and disgraceful that is. I mean, there should not be a merger server of a server merge of any kind, let alone two, less than a week after its launch, for the purposeful intention of re-energizing the people's need to spend money in your gold store. That's criminal right there. And so for that last statement, while when I first read it, or if I didn't know as much as I do about this game and I've observed it and I can see the logic that what they're saying is more than likely true, I would have looked at the statement of, to reiterate, absolutely an illegal Ponzi scheme, banned from the app stores, admins held legally accountable in a physical court of law. I'm done. I mean, I have nothing else to say, just to get that out there, that this is by no means this, Phantasm X. He's not some sort of like crazy deluded, person nutter running around. He's the only one saying it. Loads of people are saying this. Loads of people are identifying it. Loads of them are picking it up and looking at the game. It makes 100% sense. I knew it before I even read this, and we need to watch out for this fucking game. I think we all need to be outraged. If it isn't true, if there's somehow we are missing what is seemingly the very obvious truth, then like I said, Square Enix, you need to come out and say it. But they won't. I know they won't. And that's the thing, it probably isn't even illegal. That's the most annoying thing. While he says it's absolutely illegal Ponzi scheme, it's more than likely that because Square Enix are endorsing this, that they have a legal team. No, they've been around long enough. I think while Square Enix, they make a lot of stupid decisions, I don't think they're stupid enough to not know what loopholes are keeping them safe. I think they absolutely know. I think most of these mobile companies that get away with this fucking extortionate, like I said in my previous video, I said it's straight stealing in my opinion, and I called it tapping into the gamer's natural competitive urge and abusing it, taking advantage of it for your personal gains. And it is interesting to see the Office of Fair Trading call it direct exhortation, which is the encouraging of children to make purchases and giving them no choice. Is that not a summary of what this game is? No, I mean, like it really is, because now it's confirmed you can't even keep yourself safe in a guild. It's not even safety in numbers. There's absolutely no way but to spend money to survive this game. So again, while I'm not saying it, by the very standards and definition of what the Office of Fair Trading say about this kind of conduct and behaviour in a mobile title, we now have an illegal Ponzi scheme game in our franchise. Ain't that fucking wonderful, guys? Now, I've said that the title, the brand Final Fantasy, should be treated with a bit of respect and dignity, and when I said that, I kind of meant don't put shitty low quality titles, and I thought that was no, that wasn't asking for much. Please just respect that the Final Fantasy name has a standard of quality, a benchmark of quality, and you wouldn't release shitware, crapware, ghostware with the name Final Fantasy on it. I thought that was much to ask, but at the very least, I never thought I would ever see the fucking day where I had to ask that they weren't illegal. Now, at the very least, if it's not illegal, it's 100% shady. It's 100% towing the line, and at the very least utilising some very dodgy fringe loopholes. Minimum, that is what this is doing. Didn't think I'd have to ask for that, Square Enix. How naive am I? Didn't think it would get that bad. Are you really that hard up for money, Square Enix? Is this how desperate you are? Did you not just release 15? What is blowing my mind about this entire story more than anything is where it's come from. If anyone actually knows the story and can tell it in the comment section below, I'd really appreciate that. If you know more about what's done this, because I kind of feel like this is either a game that was developed and then the developers approached Square Enix and they said would they do a 15 skin on it, or if this was something that they made like with 15 and then Square Enix kind of approved it. I kind of feel like the approval process of this game is very shady. It's not spoken about often. There's definitely some under the table, backroom, shady shit going on with this game. Everyone goddamn knows it. Everyone's goddamn saying it. So Square Enix, everyone watching this, you know why I'm so fucking nervous to post this. I'm not the one saying this. This is what your fans are saying. This is what everyone can see clear as fucking day. And until you explain why we're wrong, until you give us something to other effect, and you tell us otherwise, and until you explain why you merged those servers, when it's so clear the reason why and everyone knows it, and your gold store shows it, until you can come out and say how you are not meeting all of the criteria that the Office of Fair Trading are setting for why this game is a con, then while it makes me extremely sad to say it, and I will continue loving the Final Fantasy franchise, I'll continue covering it. I'm not going to keep doing these rant videos, so I apologise, but I really wanted to make awareness here. The very sad truth is that Square Enix, if you do exactly what I know you're going to do and never speak out about this game or address this issue, then my respect is gone. It's gone. It was going, it was dwindling, it was fucking rock bottom. We was running on respect fumes. Like the fumes, the gas tank was empty. We just broke the fuck down. And I have no respect for you as a developer. Yeah, from just this one game here. You could have continued releasing shit mobile titles, like shit ones, not even just the good ones. You could have continued releasing shit ones for another 30 years and I would have just, I don't care. I ain't gonna play them. Why do they affect me? Yeah, I could have brushed it off, but this is, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Freedom of speech. Sell it. Sell Final Fantasy at this point. Sell it to Disney for all I care. You don't deserve it. Give it to anyone else. Give it to Platinum Games. Give it to Yoko Taro. Sell the damn rights. I never thought I'd say that. Sell the damn rights to someone else, because at this point, Square Enix, I honestly feel like it would even be better in EA's hand. Hold up. I'm emotional, guys. I'm very upset. I didn't mean what I just said. That was, of course, ridiculous. No one's worse than EA. There it is. There's the story. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you believe it? What concerns do you have? I'd really like to get deep in discussing this with you guys. I feel like this is a really, really big deal, like disguised in a small package. It might just be a spin-off game. It might just be a mobile title. It might be doing what you think other mobile titles have been doing. And that they can just be ignored, but I don't. I feel like it's a standard, it's a precedence. We've stepped into a very dangerous territory where it seems like we even have to question just how far Square Enix are going to go, and just how low they're willing to go to milk this franchise that means so much to me, that I did my video saying why Final Fantasy changed my life, and I sort of had responses from you guys on how Final Fantasy changed your life, and how it's helped you through your life, and you've grown up with this, and you have more love and passion for this franchise than what is normal to have for a game. To see them take a franchise so close to people's hearts, and they know is close to people's hearts, and to use it at this kind of a low, that's what just makes it even worse than even if this was some sort of like scam FIFA football game or driving game. It's what makes it a beyond an all-time low, even scummier, and a straight betrayal. So there it is, guys. There's the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below.